Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Baltimore, 10 a.m. meditation. Today is the summer solstice, and we'll do our meditation around that. So I just invite you all to breathe in deeply. Just allowing our bodies to relax. Knowing we are safe and secure and in a sacred place. Today marks the beginning of summer, the time of the greatest amount of light. We recognize light as a symbol of spiritual energy, which is also the universal power of love. Breathe in deeply this light. This light that surrounds you. This light that is within you. We usually think of this light as a white light or a brilliant sunlight. But it can be any color you choose. It may change during the meditation, blending or going from color to color. Right now, imagine this light surrounding your body. We are bathed, surrounded, and immersed in this light. Feel the brilliance, the energy, and the warmth of this magnificent light. Knowing that you are completely connected. As you focus on this light, you have a sense that you and the light are one. Now breathe this light into your body. Allow this light to move from the top of your head, your crown chakra, down and through your body. This light represents healing energy moving down through your body from the top of your head down to your third eye, right between your eyebrows, moving down your face, into your throat chakra, radiating down your arms and chest, into your heart space, your heart chakra. This light brings warmth and radiant energy to your stomach, that area above your navel, your solar plexus, your intestines and sex organs, down through the base of your spine or your root chakra. Visualize it as it travels down your legs, your knees and ankles, and into your feet. Now your whole being is immersed in this warm vibration, this healing energy. Feel it. Take a moment to sense this light in your heart space, that space that we associate with love. Let's let that concentrate, that light, that love concentrate there. As you imagine the light in this heart space, see it shining, renewing, and invigorating your whole body. Now that we sense that we are completely immersed in and surrounded by light, by love, feel it radiating outward. We know that we don't send our light anywhere, but when we're vibrating at this frequency of light and love, it is vibratory and it is sensed and felt. Imagine that this light extends a few feet from your body. Extend that light outward, reaching all of your brothers, sisters, friends, relations, anyone that comes to mind. We are all part of the light. As we sense this energy and connectedness of all life. Take a portion of his light, as much as you need, recognizing that there is enough for all. Knowing that the infinite source of all light is abundant, overflowing, endless, and everlasting. Experience the abundance of the prosperity that is love in and as your life right now. As we partake of this light and this love, we give our light and love as part of a universal energy flow, infinite and unending. Breathe into this energy flow, this connectedness with all life, with your life. Take a few more minutes to appreciate and give thanks for this light, for knowing this light as our life now. Before we end with the spiritual mind treatment, I want to invite you, if you are out in nature today, take this time to spread this light and love and to receive it. If you get the chance, hug a tree. This weekend, some of the practitioners got together and Diane reminded us of this universal energy flow, the synchronicity between nature and ourselves and the trees. It's okay to be caught hugging a tree. And this is what I know. I know that divine, eternal energy is always flowing in, as, and through all life. It is our life now. We are this radiant magnificence made manifest, grounded and walking on this earth plane, hugging trees, loving and appreciating life and each other, being connected in community, being in a loving community, just overflowing gratitude for this. Just allowing ourselves to be so immersed in the abundance that is life, being so grateful to give and receive, to experience this energy exchange, to know the love that we are and have always been. We are love, we are loved, and we are lovable. And we get to experience this to the degree that we choose this. We choose love. We choose to walk in light and love and accept that as the core of our being. No matter what external circumstances, we come back and we can breathe in this life, this conscious breath, every moment. Just an opportunity to breathe in light and to ground ourselves in this love. Just to feel it, even if it's just 1 or 2 breaths. We give that to ourselves in any situation, at any point in time, and we know that we are connected. And we know that we are of the light, and we are radiating the light. We are immersed in the light, and we are the beauty of it unfolding. I give gratitude for this day. I give gratitude for this weekend of coming together and participating and just feeling immersed in love, feeling the energy flow, feeling life unfolding. It's this weekend of celebration of Juneteenth, of freedom, of Father's Day and masculine energy, and the summer solstice. We celebrate all of that energy, all of that flow, and just give gratitude for opening up to that. Gratitude for opening up to the love and the light. Gratitude for all that is in our life now. I am so grateful for this day. Thank you for being here, releasing this treatment into the law, knowing your magnificence and your beauty. It is all God. It is all good. The highest and best is unfolding for each of us, and we trust and surrender into that. We release this treatment into the law, saying amen, Ashlee, and so it is.
Good morning and happy Sunday. In order to help with our method of recording our service, we request that congregants and participants who are not speaking, performing, or interpreting to please turn cameras off until after service. At that time, all can come on camera to fellowship and share the love. Thank you for your cooperation. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore's virtual service. I am Tracy Rhymes, your host. Our speaker is our Senior Minister, Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson. Our musicians are woven green. Serving as today's practitioner who led the pre-service meditation is Sue Monaghan. Assisting with making this service open, inviting, and accessible to the deaf community are our sign language interpreters, Ashlee Goldman and Sonya, Chavis. On behalf of Reverend Dr. Ray, thank you all for your service. Happy Father's Day. Yes, happy Father's Day to all of you serving in that role. At the Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore, every Sunday is an Invite a Friend or Family Member Sunday. Make sure you spread the love and invite someone to service. We would love to have them hang out with us. Before Sue grounds us in prayer, let me share this about her. Sue has been part of this teaching since 2004. She's been a practitioner since 2013. Sue believes that we are the point of power in our lives, that our essence is spiritual and it is good. It is her desire to let Spirit reveal this wonderful truth through her. Sue is committed to CSLGB's vision that we are demonstrating a world that works for all. One life-affirming thought, word, feeling, deed, and one human interaction at a time. We all make a difference in other people's lives. May our light shine for all to see.
Good morning, CSL Greater Baltimore, and welcome. What a great morning. So this is what I know, that one infinite, divine, delicious power shows up in, as, and through each one of us. It is the love and the light that we are. We understand and recognizing that we're creating a world that works for all, and we're doing this through love. We're leading with love. We're a community that is steeped in love and commitment and joy. And I'm grateful to be here today. I'm grateful to pray. I'm grateful for this magnificent music, for our wonderful Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson's message, for the host, the interpretation, everything that goes on to bring this service. It is amazing. We are amazing. So grateful for everyone being here today, for those that will listen later to the service. It's all God, it's all us, and it's all good. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Sue. Happy Pride! Woo! June is Pride Month. In recognition of LGBTQ pride, here is some history for you. Jose Julio Sarria, born December 13th, 1922, and made his transition August 19th, 2013. He was also called Absolute Express One, the Widow Norton, Express Jose One, or the first, and the Nightingale of Montgomery Street. He was a Latino American drag performer and political activist who was the first openly gay person to run for public office in the United States. He ran unsuccessfully for a seat on the San Francisco Board of Supervisors, the legislative body of the city and county in 1961. Although as a candidate, Saria did not win a seat on the Board of Supervisors in 1961, his quiet campaign drew attention to the potential political strength of the gay community. His activism paved the way for later successful campaigns by openly gay candidates such as Harvey Milk, who was elected to the Board of Supervisors 16 years after Sierra's bid. In 1965, Jose founded the Imperial Court of San Francisco, now the International Court System, an association of charitable organizations that raises money primarily for gay causes. With nearly 70 chapters in the United States, Canada, and Mexico, it is one of the largest LGBTQ organizations in the world. His legacy was honored by the city of San Francisco with the renaming of a section of Castro Street, which is in the middle of San Francisco's Castro district, one of the first largely gay neighborhoods in the United States. As Sierra Court, it's named, as Jose Sierra Court. The city also placed a plaque that notes Saria's contributions in the sidewalk in front of the Harvey Milk Memorial Branch of the San Francisco Public Library, which is located at 1 Jose Sierra Court. To learn more, visit Britannica.com/biography/Jose Saria. Happy Pride. All right. In honor and recognition of Juneteenth, I am sharing this article by Derek Taylor of the New York Times. Juneteenth is a holiday commemorating the end of slavery in the United States. It is also called Emancipation Day or Juneteenth Independence Day. The name Juneteenth references the date of the holiday, combining the words June and 19th. On June 19th, 1865, about 2 months after the Confederate General Robert E. Lee surrendered at Appomattox, Virginia, Gordon Granger, a Union general, arrived in Galveston, Texas, to inform enslaved African Americans of their freedom and that the Civil War had ended. General Granger's announcement put into effect the Emancipation Proclamation, which had been issued more than 2.5 years earlier on January 1st, 1863, by President Abraham Lincoln. In recent years, and particularly following nationwide protests over police brutality and the deaths of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and other Black Americans, there is a renewed interest in the day that celebrates freedom. The celebration continues to resonate in new ways, given the sweeping changes and widespread protests across the US. Reverend Ray's added note is on June 17th, 2021, Juneteenth, June 19th, became a federal holiday, and we remain committed to the consciousness of full equality, justice, and liberation that extends beyond one symbolic holiday. We currently have 3 weekly ongoing ways to study, learn, and discuss. On the first and third Monday nights, the Sacred Contracts Book Club, hosted by Nancy Rosenberg. On Wednesday nights, the Science of Mind textbook exploration group, facilitated by Reverend Dr. Ray. And the Thursday night study group, facilitated by practitioner Dr. Ronnie Ellington. The Discovery class is available online. Contact us at info@cslgreaterbaltimore.org or visit the website for more information on becoming a member of CSLGB. Sign up for the CSLGB newsletter, the CSLGB Facebook and Instagram pages, and get more news and information by visiting cslgreaterbaltimore.org or .com. Interested in a community camping trip? A CSLGB getaway? Sue Italiano is checking to see if there is any interest. If so, send her an email to sueitaliano@gmail.com. The CSLGB Ministry of Education has upcoming classes. Foundations of Science of Mind, facilitated by practitioner Dr. Ronnie Ellington. If you are interested in taking Foundations, contact Sue Monaghan. Once 4 or more people express a desire, a Saturday class will be scheduled. Conversations about race. Racial literacy as a spiritual practice. Every second Wednesday of the month, 7 to 9 p.m. This is a year-long journey of experiencing racial literacy as a spiritual practice. As Centers for Spiritual Living holds the vision of creating a world that works for everyone as our beacon, our spiritual work is in examining our thinking, both our personal thoughts and those passed on to us in a collective, socialized manner. The required reading is A Race is a Nice Thing to Have, a guide to being a white person or understanding the white persons in your life by Janet E. Helms. Love offerings gratefully accepted. For more information, contact practitioner Rebecca Arena Beal from CSL Columbia at 410-340-4805 or Bella358@comcast.net. The Essential Ernest Holmes, facilitated by practitioner Eugene Holden. This is an 8-week class and it starts Thursday, July 6th and runs 6:30 to 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. If interested in registering, contact Sue Monaghan. For full class description and more information, you are encouraged to visit the website cslgreaterbaltimore.org or .com to find more educational opportunities in ours and other communities we are partnered with. Would you like to receive a daily text and voicemail from Reverend Dr. Ray? If so, type JOIN to 833-663-9021 to begin receiving your daily inspirations. You'll be glad you did. For those of you joining us for the first time and to serve as a reminder to others. On the count of three, we shout, prayer works. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Prayer works. That's right. We as a community continue to treat and move our feet, knowing the truth for everyone around the planet. Prayer requests can be sent at any time via email to info@cslgreaterbaltimore.org. Our musicians today. Woven Green is the name of Jim and Ashlee Cash, an award-winning singer, songwriter, husband, and wife team with roots in the DC area, who weave their unique blend of pop, rock, folk, world, and new age music with the power and poetry of modern sage. Having released several albums, 4 of which have been fully fan-funded, their output has garnered multiple awards, most notably winning Foresight's Prize for in the Release magazine Jam Off competition. Their album Into Bloom has received stellar reviews and has been described as thrilling, electrifying, and inspirational, drawing comparisons to some of the greats, including Fleetwood Mac, recalling the best of the singer-songwriter tradition in unexpected and beautiful ways. The ratings game. Songs from Into Bloom were recently added to a growing number of college and independent radio stations across the US and Canada and have been licensed for use on major TV networks such as the Discovery Channel and TLC, among others. To learn more about them, visit their website, wovengreenmusic.com. I give you Woven Green.
I dreamed I saw the world from high above, aboard a ship of stars on a cosmic sea of love. No pain, no suffering in this heavenly space. A sense of calm, glory, and grace. In the state of bliss, it's simply hard to believe. Our world so torn and people down on their knees, begging for mercy, praying for peace, a distant hope that all the fighting may cease. So lift it up, the world to love. The only way we're gonna save the ship from sinking is to lift it up, all of us, only together, shining everlasting faith in love, in love. I hear the sound of every heartbeat as one, through the fields of time and every dream that is spun. This inspiration lifts the veil within us all, raises the sails. So lift it up, the world to love. The ship from sinking is to lift it up. All of us, only together, shining everlasting faith in love. Lift it up, the world to love. The only way we're gonna save this ship from sinking is to lift it up. All of us, only together, shining everlasting faith in love. In love. Well, I believe that love will prevail, and I believe that our hearts are the chords to an endless song of a heavenly dream for peace on earth to finally awake in a song. I dreamed I saw the world waking up.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Oh, all right. So now Sue will lead us in a spiritual practice.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you. Just take a moment to just breathe in deeply. Just right where you are, just experiencing this divine moment. This energy flow of life, living and moving, having its being in, as, and through you. And today, we're going to take a moment to honor Juneteenth, which was celebrated yesterday, and it's now our new holiday to celebrate. So just using our breath, that life-giving and sustaining force. Just breathe in deeply and consciously. Signaling the body and the mind to come into alignment with our soul light, our soul love. Continue by breathing into this idea of freedom, honoring the ancestors, and the idea and the fundamental principle of what it means to be a true patriot, to believe in life, liberty, justice, and equality for all. Its highest ideal of freedom. In religious science, belief statements, we say, we believe the ultimate goal of life to be a complete freedom from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. We breathe in knowing that bondage is not God ordained. We breathe out knowing total freedom to be our birthright. We breathe in forgiveness, forgiving the past, forgiving our stories. We breathe out and acknowledge our conscious choice to choose. We breathe in and dare to believe in a world that works for everyone. We breathe out and accept this as a reality. We breathe in and acknowledge that our soul's deepest purpose is to experience complete freedom. We breathe out and release any discord. And we know the truth of our being. We know that there's one light, one love, one power, and it is in, as, and through everything. I call it God, I call it Spirit, I call it Jesus, I call it the Force, whatever name I give it, it is all there is. It is eternal and infinite, just as we are, as it was in the beginning. We're experiencing life right here and right now, in this place, in this space, and it is good, and it is sacred, and it is meant to be experienced in full, flat out freedom. Freedom to express ourselves just as we are, just as we show up, just as our size, our shape, our color, our gender. Complete and total freedom to experience this life right here and right now as a true manifestation of the freedom of spirit expressing through each one of us on the only magnificent way that it can express divinely through each one of us. And this is good, it feels good. It feels good to breathe this in and know this truth for ourselves and for everyone else. We are here on purpose. We are elevating the consciousness of this planet on its upward evolutionary spiral as we experience greater and greater choices of freedom and joy expressed. So giving gratitude for this day, for coming together as a loving community, of feeling surrounded by individuals that are like-minded. This sense of community, this sense of love is felt and experienced. It is good, it is so good. I release this treatment into the law, knowing that it's done unto us. We believe in freedom, we believe in life. And so it is.
Thank you, Sue. All right. Senior Minister, Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Baltimore, Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson, has frequently been referred to as a Renaissance man. One look at his resume and the reason becomes clear. As a lifelong learner with a passion for self-development, personal transformation, transmutation, and self-awakening, he lives his bliss as a teacher, mentor, speaker, minister, and so much more. His mission is to live, move, and be an active, which is an acronym, authentic, compassionate, transparent, inspired, vibrant, and empowered member of society who serves to educate, elucidate, emancipate, awaken, and empower people and communities. Reverend Rev, come do your thing.
Namaste and greetings, CSL Greater Baltimore. So today, we're sort of getting into a topic that is, how do I say, meaty, of substance, of depth, and as Tracy would often say, it may step on a couple of toes. So make your feet comfortable and let's begin. So once again, June, the theme for the month of June is the soul's call. Today's specific talk is, what's evolution without love? Without love, evolution is a spiritual path of apathy, complacency, and lethargy. It's easy to talk the talk about love, and yet it is more challenging to love our neighbor as ourselves. Pause and breathe that in. Because if we really get down to the nuts and bolts of it, there are a lot of us who don't love ourselves. If we can't love ourselves, as RuPaul would say, then how the heck are you going to love somebody else? So it's far more challenging to love our neighbor as ourselves when we don't love ourselves. But even when we do love ourselves, sometimes it's difficult to make that bridge, cross that bridge and love another. The evolutionary leap of this radical love calls us to reach in and love ourselves and to reach out and love another. This is the beloved community in action. Cool. So evolution. You know, we often think of this whole idea of evolution as you start as an embryo, you turn into a baby, the baby becomes a kid, and you get school, and you get college, and there's a job, and you get retirement, you get old age, and you get death. Like we often think of it in terms of, like, that's evolution. It's a process of growth and then decline. But is that really evolution? I mean, if we really, really think about it, is that evolution, or is that a loveless activity because we're obsessed with this idea, and therefore it is a form of devolution? It is a form of looking at life as this grindstone that you have to keep your nose to, this weighted thing that is around the neck that weighs us down, this idea of I have to get stuff done, rather than it gets done by simply being. And when we think of evolution in this term, then what does that say about the infinite spirit? Does that also mean that it goes through this exact same process in the absolute? Pause and breathe. Because that's like something we really want to anchor into and think about. We often make God in our own image. And so if we think of our own lives as pointless, dull, boring, lethargic, do we project that upon God as well? That God is sitting on some throne somewhere, twiddling his or her fingers, thumbs, like, okay, who do I strike down next? Who do I give a promotion to next? Who do I bless or who do I curse next? Ernest Holmes said in The Science of Mind, evolution is the awakening of the soul to a recognition of its unity with the whole. Evolution is the awakening. Remember, the theme is the soul's call. Evolution is the awakening of the soul to a recognition of its unity with the isness and allness that is the whole. So when we think of our teaching, we understand that the teaching symbol represents infinite wholeness. It represents all of the aspects of the divine. And when we think about it, when we go into practice, then ultimately what we're talking about is spiritual well-being. But we can't just talk about spiritual well-being as an isolated thing if we're not also talking about relational well-being, emotional well-being, physical, financial, vocational, intellectual, etc. If we are going to be whole, perfect, and completely well, then wellness, well-being, as spiritual beings, as God incarnate, we ideally want to express and experience well-being in all areas of our lives. Is that not why Yeshua said, I came that you may have life and have it more abundantly? I came that you may have life and have it well. Have it joyously, prosperously, blissfully, energetically, and enthusiastically, wholly. So wholeness, what is wholeness though? Like, what is this idea in terms of evolution? Evolution is the awakening of the soul, your soul, and the recognition of its unity, your unity with the whole. What it is, you must be. There is only that which it is, and it is incarnating itself, living itself, breathing itself intimately as you. Okay, cool, gotcha. So, Ernest Holmes also says in The Science of Mind, the aim of evolution is to produce a human who, as the point of their objective thought, may completely manifest the whole idea of life. The whole idea of life may bring unity to the point of particularization, finding nothing in the law to oppose it. Manifest it, nothing to oppose it. Grounding ourselves, understanding what this means. And yet questions arise. Like, ideally, we should have questions like, wait, before the questions go away, what does that mean? At the point of my objective thought, that I may completely manifest the whole idea of life, may bring unity to the point of particularization, finding nothing in the law to oppose it. Breathe. Nothing in the law to oppose it. Okay. Ernest Holmes then says, God has already done for us in a mechanical way all that God can do. You hear that? God has already done for us in a mechanical way all that God can do. And having been given the ability, we will have to do, read this part in, we will have to do for ourselves the rest. In other words, it's already here. Question is, are we doing the practice? Are we engaging the principle? There is no thing where it's like, okay, so I need God to do something else for me. You already have access to love and law. You already have access to the infinite principle of law of mind and action. You already have access to it. Question is, are you using it? Are you implementing it? There's already enough oxygen. God doesn't need to give us more oxygen. There's already oxygen, but are you breathing deeply? There's already enough music, every note, every timbre, every tone, it's already in existence. Question is, are we accessing it? Are we playing it? Are we dancing to it, singing it, creating it? It's already here. But are we making use of it? God is already, God does not become more of, like God doesn't like, oh, so I need to be a bigger God. I need to like get biceps and pecs and lats. Like God doesn't need to add to itself. It already is all that there is, which means we are already all that it is in these individualized forms. But are we doing the work to make use of it? Are we applying the principles? Are we applying the teachings? Are we walking the walk? That's the rest. Are we doing it? Are we engaging it? Fannie Lou Hamer said, when I liberate others, I liberate myself. It's very similar to something, can't think of her name right now, the woman that wrote the poem on the Statue of Liberty, when she said, none of us are free until all of us are free. Fannie Lou Hamer, when I liberate others, I liberate myself. But we understand that because of the law of reciprocity, then when I liberate myself, I liberate others. Whatever happens in one part of God must happen in all of God. So when I truly do the work in, through, and that's myself, it has no choice but to affect you. There's only one mind. That mind is God. That mind is my mind now. That mind is your mind now. What I do in my mind regarding liberation must also occur somewhere in your mind because we are using one mind. So that's how we do the work for ourselves, and the individual then becomes the collective, because ultimately there is only one. So what this one does affects the one that is Tracy. What Tracy does as the one affects this one that is Ray, affects that one that is Jim, affects that one that is Fifi, affects that one that is Dana, affects that one that is the President of the United States. It affects everybody. It affects everything. It has to, because there is only that which it is. Chief Seattle said, humankind has not woven the web of life. We are but one thread within it. Whatever we do to the web, we do to ourselves. All things are bound together. All things connect. I cannot hurt only myself. Because if I do harm to me, does it not do harm in some way to Tracy? If I harm myself, does it not also affect you as my beloved community of CSL Greater Baltimore? We are interconnected. What one of us does sends ripples throughout the web of creation. But we think, oh, I ain't hurting nobody. It's just me. I'm allowed to be racist. I'm allowed to be sexist. I'm allowed to be loud, obnoxious, and rude. It ain't hurting nobody. I can beat my kids if I want. It ain't hurting your kids. I can do whatever I want to do. Nestle can think that they can manage child slavery in Africa to produce cacao for chocolate, etc., and water and stuff, and they think, well, pause, pump your brakes. You do realize that what you do in Africa affects people in Russia and Japan and China and India and the United States of America and South America and Canada. It affects everyone on the face of this planet. There is but one web. That web is God. And all threads of that web are God in form. God incarnating itself as the threads of the web. There is only the web. And what happens in one area of the web reverberates throughout the web. So what is ours to do in this practice? How do we ground ourselves? How do we put the energy of evolution and revolution into this thing called love, into this thing called action? I mean, think about Audre Lorde said, revolution is not a one-time activity. Well, then if revolution is not a one-time activity, neither is evolution. Ernest Holmes said in The Creative Mind and Success, in practice, the emancipated soul must always realize that it is in union with Source. It is in union with Source. You are in union with Source. What Source does, they can do in their own life. You can do in your own life. What Source is, they can become. What Source is, you can become. Your word must be spoken with absolute authority. You must know there should be no uncertainty. You must know. Move through the doubt. Now, there is healthy doubt, healthy skepticism, but then there is that place where we anchor and ground and know that we know that we know and move from there. That is the uncertainty that Holmes is referring to. The word is the only power. And that word shows up. Yeah, I'm interjecting me in here. The word is the only power. That word is your thought. That word is communicated in your emotions and your feelings. That word is communicated in how you show up in your actions, your behavior, your habits, your tendencies. That word is all of you, not just what communicates through your mouth, your hands, through text, through email. You are that word. And the word of God was made flesh. You are that flesh. Everything must come from it, and nothing can stand against it. It is the great weapon, Holmes's word, I say tool, which you, he says, which they are to use, which you are to use against all that is not life affirming, against all that is evil. And you are to use this tool for good, for the infinite goodness of creation. So let's go back to these folks, because they ponder and stuff. They're in contemplation. Audre Lorde said, there is no such thing as a single issue struggle because we do not live single issue lives. That means all things, all people, all situations, all experiences, all of life is intimately, infinitely, and inextricably connected. It all must be. So now, wait, say what now? What are you thinking about? What? Before you go there, I need to know. What did you say you're thinking about? Oh, in practice, the emancipated soul must always realize that it is in union with oneness. As the point of my objective thought, oh, they're there again. As the point of my objective thought that I may completely manifest the whole idea of life, I may bring unity to the point of particularization because I find nothing in the law to oppose it. Okay, so then they were thinking about, oh, all of the things that are in the world that are going on, poverty, the ecosystem, sexism, separatism, colorism, ableism. They're thinking about, because these are single issues that many people take the banner of, but we do not live single issue lives. What affects one affects us all. So let us pause and recognize that what we do in the web of life, what we do in the mind of God, what we do with love and law affects all of us. And because what the Buddha says, according to Suzuki Roshi, To be a human being is to be a Buddha. Buddha nature is just another name for human nature, true human nature. This means that being a Buddha is intrinsic or essential to being human. If we were not Buddha, we could not be human. What now? If we were not Buddha, we could not be human. If we were not the awake, because see, check that out. Did you see where he goes next? The word Buddha means awakened one who is awake to the things that they really are without the coloring and attachments of our individual conditioning, without those judgments, those criticisms, that baggage, without that defining who and what we are. Oh, that's rather interesting, don't you think? Especially when we recognize that you are already enlightening happening. See, that you're not enlightened. Remember, revolution is not a one-time event. Evolution is not a one-time event. You are ever enlightening, ever awakening, ever evolving, and you are already God, godding itself. You are already that which life is, living itself. How do you live this truth is the practice. How do you live this enlightening is the practice. How you live this awakening is the practice. Because what we know already is wherever you go, God says, wherever you go, I'm already there. As Glenda told, Tracy's laughing at me right now, as Glenda told Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, honey child, you've always had the power, Medea. You just had to learn it for yourself. Glenda didn't have that much of an accent the way, I don't care. It's my accent for today. You've always had the power, but you have to learn it for yourself. You have to apply it for yourself. You have to practice it yourself. So wherever you go, I'm already there. Well, because God's not anthropomorphized. So what is this? Oh, wherever you go, infinite magnificence is already there. Life is already there. Spirit is already there. Whew. There is nowhere to go. There is nothing else to become. You are already it. How do you embody it and practice it? So many of us are familiar with unity. And in unity, there's a poem or prayer of protection written by James Dillard Freeman. We're familiar with, some of us are familiar with this. The light of God surrounds you. The love of God enfolds you. The power of God protects you. The presence of God watches over you. Wherever you are, God is, and all is well. Amen. But did you know there's more to it, actually? The mind of God guides you. The life of God flows through you. The laws of God direct you. The peace of God abides within you. The joy of God uplifts you. The strength of God renews you. The beauty of God inspires you. Wherever you are, God is, and all is well. Amen. Oh, that's cool. But check this out. It gets even better, folks. It gets like, it's that for real, that serious jump right there. Because we get, Tracy laughing again, because we recognize I am the light of God. I am the love of God. I am the power of God. I am the presence of God. I am the mind of God. And breathe. I am the life of God. I am the laws of God being moved through me. When I activate the law of mind and action, that is the law of God, and that is what I do. That is what you do. I am the laws of God. I am the peace of God. I am the joy of God. I am the strength of God. I am the beauty of God. Wherever I am, God is, and the absolute allness is my wellness. Amen. Ooh. Wow. Yeah, I gotta breathe that. If I had a tambourine, Tracy over there like, whoa, if we had a tambourine, somebody'd be running around the sanctuary right now. Woo, doggy. Yes, and I apologize right now for the interpreter. Yes, because I know this thing has been moving 4,629 miles per hour today. I know. It's because I'm hyped up. There's a lot of energy running through me. And check this out. This is being recorded on Saturday. Yes, I have my socks on. It's being recorded on Saturday. And I'm still hyped because of the energy of this weekend. Today, Juneteenth, tomorrow, today for you, Father's Day, the anniversary of my mother's transition, and Monday, the official anniversary of her transition. So like there's a lot of energy running through me. So I apologize right now to the interpreters for the speed with which my mouth is moving. And we pause. Tracy's laughing at me again. Some guy named Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson says, in practice, as a way of living life most effectively and truly, evolution, or whatever we call it, awakening, enlightening, illuminating, moving up the spiral of consciousness is the active and conscious living of unity, oneness, harmony, life-affirming alignment, and recognition of our inherent divinity as the I am that I right now choose to engage and be the embodiment of. And this embodiment must be done with love and law and love working together, engaging the practice and the principles. We are not bound by precedent. We are moved forward, moved into greater expansiveness by principle, by the law, and by love. Breathe. Keep breathing. Just take it in. You're already it. You're already the divine living itself. You are already a Christ in the flesh. You are already a Buddha. You are already enlightenment, enlightening itself. You are already the illuminating itself. You are already the awakened one, awakening itself. You are already it. This week's practice, application, Tracy calls it homework. Actually, she doesn't. I'm messing with her right now. She was laughing at me earlier. What does it mean for me to already be and ever becoming enlightened, evolved, ascended, or illuminated? What does it mean that I am already that and that I am ever becoming more and more and more of it? But there is no point when an artist is like, boom, I've already artisted, I've already sung it, I've already danced, I am done. An artist continues to create art. A singer continues to produce music. A musician continues to manifest music. Like it's an ongoing process. There is no moment when it's like, boom, I'm done. That's not what life does. Life is infinite and eternal living of itself. Second, what am I invited to learn about? Allowing deeper truths about myself to rise to the surface of my life. What are my current barriers to accepting this truth about myself? I am that with this, I am that with this universal intelligence personifying
My fault.
and incarnating itself as me. I am already that which it is. It's personifying itself. It's incarnating itself as me. I'm already it. But do I have barriers? Do I have blockages? Do I have doubts and suspicions? Am I afraid to accept that? What am I invited to learn as I allow this truth to rise to the surface? And lastly, Tracy's favorite part. Have a conversation with tres personas about what it means for you to live in active engagement with love from and as with law, sorry. I always like putting love first. Live in active engagement with law from and as love and how your emancipation emancipates others. And we breathe. Today's declaration, our affirmation, I will say it first and then together as you so feel moved. I move forward in my life from a place of love. Together.
I move forward in my life from a place of love.
From a consciousness of love, I move forward in my life. From a groundedness of love, I move forward in my life. Breathe as we prepare the stage, as we prepare our consciousness, as we prepare our beingness for the amazingness, once again, of Woven Green. Namaste and blessings.
Things are on the bright side, my eyes are looking west, out beneath the canopy of this morning sky. On a trip to the jewel point where new life awakes, in a waterfall of clarity pouring through. Find the seed of freedom if it's just a moment's grace. Enlighten us with inspiration, wake us into blue. Underneath the waterfall, dancing waves of ecstasy. Feel it rush all over you, and the healing will begin to lay these burdens down, so we may see again. turning on. Underneath the waterfall, dancing waves of ecstasy. Feel it rush all over you, and the healing will begin to lay these burdens down, so we may see again.
Put your hands together. Yes, yes. People all over the world, put your hands together. Yes, join hands. We are on the love train, Dana. Yes, we are. It's funny, I didn't do that intentionally, but apparently I was channeling the OJs this morning. So, or actually, not this morning, it was yesterday. Put your hands together once again for Woven Green. Thank you, Ashlee and Jim. Thank you. Thank you. Love you. So, Tracy's giving me the eye. She got a lot of nerve, y'all, right? Okay, let's move on. At this time of service, we recognize the importance of engaging in the spiritual practice of tithing, offering, donating to where you are spiritually fed. And we recognize and understand that here at CSL Greater Baltimore, for what we are intending and envisioning to create as a beloved community, as Tracy always says, your tithes, your donations, your offering is also for the business aspect and for keeping the lights on. And what we know right now, it's also for us manifesting the right and perfect building, right? Can I get an amen? Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you, Tracy. I appreciate that. So for those of you who may not know, the Practitioner Corps of CSL Greater Baltimore has pledged an additional, on top of their already scheduled tithes, an additional $25,000 by the end of this year. And to date, it is $8,135. The community's matching pledge of that $25,000 to date is $1,075. And this is on top of the community's already scheduled tithes. How do you tithe, you ask? You say it again. How do
you tithe? Or how do I tithe? How to tithe?
There are multiple ways, Tracy. Thank you for asking. PayPal, text to give, or the postal mail service. Know that you can also divide your tithes into a particular percentage. For example, you could put 25% of your tithe into education and or scholarships. You can put 50 into compassionate care or the emergency fund. You can divide it up however you desire, or you just leave it and allow the Board of Trustees in their infinite wisdom and stewardship to determine where and how best to steward the money. For more information, you can always go to the website, www.cslgreaterbaltimore.com/giving. Now, if we are ready, let us anchor into the energy of opulence, prosperity, and wealth, knowing that this opulence, prosperity, wealth, and all this good stuff isn't just money, because we recognize the words of Yeshua. As I said before, Yeshua said, I came that you may have life and have it more abundantly. So let us declare and know that this beloved community is a prosperous, abundant, opulent, and wealthy, meaning whole, healthy, complete, and perfect, joyful, blissful, orgasmic pleasure of life is this beloved community. Together, I joyfully, consciously, and gratefully participate in the law of circulation. I trust in the spiritual principle that says, as I sow into my beloved community, I demonstrate my awareness of standing not only in the flow, but as the flow itself. As I sow of myself, my time, my treasure, my talent, I demonstrate my support and engagement in my community's vision, mission, and purpose. I actively give as a demonstration of manifesting, of reaping the harvest
of a world that works for all. Breathe it in. Breathe it in and let us allow the awesomeness of spirit, the awesomeness that it is as each of us simply show itself, demonstrate itself. Because as I said before, and we use it for linguistic purposes, linguistic convenience, this idea of becoming more, but we're already it, right? We can become more aware, we can become more active, more engaging of it, but what it is, we already are. So the awesomeness of God, the power of spirit, the love, the joy, the light, the creativity of the universe is all that we are in this moment. So let's go out and be it in the world. Let's go out and speak it in the world. Let's go out and show it in the world. Let our faith, our works, be the very demonstration of our lives. So be awesome today. For those who are dads, fathers, pops, granddads, all of that, and to the women who are holding it down as the figurehead of the household, doing what you need to do, you also blessed with the divine masculine today. Happy Father's Day to all. And let the energy of Juneteenth, the energy of emancipation, the energy of knowing that this teaching, Science of Mind and Spirit, is not just a liberation theology, it is a theology of liberation. And so as we live free, as we live liberated, emancipated in our minds, in our hearts, our feelings, our emotions, every chakra, every way that we show up, then we know that we are the very demonstration of God on earth. Be that today. I feel like that was the benediction, but it wasn't, because at this moment, no, it wasn't, because
right, you still got more to do.
I still got more to do. So at this moment, recognize that the practitioner on duty today, and I'm not sure, I haven't seen who else is here, but Sue Monaghan is available for 1 Minute Miracles, spiritual mind treatments with anyone seeking to shift, change, transform some aspect of consciousness, something in your life, a healing, etc. She is available. And if there are any other practitioners, let Tracy know and she will put folks in. I'm doing it again, that motor mouth thing. Sorry, interpreter. Tracy will place everyone into an appropriate breakout room so that prayer may be had. If you desire prayer, but you are not able to stay on for prayer, know that you can have prayer at any time by sending an email to info@cslgreaterbaltimore.org, or you could send me an email and I will make sure it gets to the practitioner core for you. At any time, this can be done. Also today, after service, oh yeah, and Tracy said, type into the chat, you probably heard her, type into the chat prayer so she knows that that is what you desire and she will put you in a breakout room. Also today, board meeting for anyone desiring to know what's going on in your beloved community. If you want to know how you can contribute or participate in the activities behind the scenes, in the manifestation of a new space, etc. Board meeting will happen once prayer is done. So feel free to stay on. And if you are by chance staying for both prayer and the board meeting, let Tracy know that as well. So she can say, oh, someone's in prayer with Sue right now, but oh, they're going to also stay for the board meeting. Then we know time-wise what to do. So we breathe and recognize that all that was said, all that was sung, all that was meditated, all that was given and offered was given and offered and sung and performed and meditated and prayed from the very consciousness of the universe itself. As Sue said, whatever you call it, God, source, the Tao, the force, whatever name you call it, that which it is what we are, living, moving, and being itself, breathing itself as us right now. Life itself, there is only one life, that life is God. That life is my life right now, that life is your life right now, and all that comes with it is ours right now. Knowing this to be good, I surrendered into the law. Knowing that in the law it is already activating, because the law says yes, it is already moving, shifting, and having its beingness. That means it is already already answered prayer in the mind of God. And knowing that it is already answered, that all are well, all are whole, all are perfect, all are joyfully expressing themselves on this beautiful love train of life. I allow it to be what it is as answered prayer. And together we touch and agree and say, and so it is. Love you. Take care.